Thank you for joining us, everybody, and welcome to the Dark Ages, our V5 Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, set in the year 1198 in Marseille, France. This evening we have a masquerade ball that the new prince of the city, or should I say sovereign, the title Gamaliel has chosen, has decided to gather kindred from far and wide and move on to a new night. Although they say a man is least himself when he talks in his own person, give him a mask and he will tell you the truth. And we will find out what truths are aired tonight. With us, we have our wonderful cast, starting with, let's go with Abbot Aldrich.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Q. Anderson. I will be playing Abbot Aldrich. Thank you for being patient with us and tuning in.
Up next, we have Sister Hildegard. You're muted.
Yes, I'm Calamity Casey, and I will be playing Sister Hildegard tonight, and thoroughly unmodestly.
Up next, we have Asta Sorensen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dana, and tonight I am playing Asta Sorensen.
Up next, Violet de Claret.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and tonight I'm playing Violet de Claret. So excited.
Last but not least, our sovereign.
Excellent. I am Mitchell, also known as Penny for a Tale on all the social medias, and today I will be playing your sovereign, Gamaliel.
And for our historical nerds out there, masquerade balls began in the 16th century, officially by regular history. However, we want to have fun. Who's to say this isn't the first? And these kindred, just let the rest of the world in on this grand idea several centuries from now. Regardless, we open our scene with the new kindred in charge, walking into the ball fashionably late, as a number of kindred have gathered. Some local, those who weren't in the city during the attack, and others a little more traveled. Regardless, tonight, they await to see who's now in charge of this domain as I leave the scene to my cast.
I mean, Gamaliel comes in naked, other than a scarf and a light cloth over his body. He is smooth everywhere. No hair, and particularly around the groin area. It's very much like what humans nowadays would call a Ken doll. Very smooth around there as well. He has lacerations and scars all across his body, particularly the ones underneath his eyes. He's not wearing a mask, but he strides in with confidence, claws already out as he approaches his throne, which no doubt will be a combination of humans sewn together in the Tzimisce fashion. Very erotic and enjoyable, very human centipede-esque, as he sits down upon the throne and gazes upon his people.
Not far behind you is Salah, the Sedite courtier who has somehow managed to survive this calamity, the same as you. He whispers in your ear, Gamaliel, telling you a number of the other kindred who have arrived. My sovereign, if you don't mind me, there are a couple of interesting kindred I would like to make you aware of tonight.
I am going to look forward to it, but I want everything to come to open up to me like a flower blossoming. Of course, there are rules tonight. Everyone must show up with a partner. Anyone who is not banished from the city, I don't want to see them again. Particularly, though, today, I would like to see my coterie presented before me. And then after that, if you could gather these individuals who you find fascinating enough to warrant my attention, I would like to see those partners stand before myself and my council. And we could speak then.
As you wish.
I like hearing that.
He toddles off.
I watch him toddle. Damn, it's a fine piece of ass. He'll sit down.
Abbot Aldrich is still outside. He's speaking to his monks with two women standing next to him. One woman is tall. The other about 5'5". Both very serious looks on their faces. Now, brothers, of course I would have you come in, but you play a very important role. Your presence here blesses our city, and this night, I'm going to need all of you to just stand silently, don't look anybody in the eye, and just line the wall here on either side of the door. And think about how the grace of the Almighty has basked over you and blessed you to be able to witness such an event even from the outside.
They nod their heads in agreement as they cannot speak. Their tongues are gone. However, if you were to look upon their faces, partially obscured by those large robes they wear all the time, you would see that many of them are crying in adoration simply at the words you were speaking to them. They line the outside of the building, primarily on every one of the entrances, as if guarding.
Mila.
Yes.
So graceful, the way that you move. This is your first, right?
It is. Since coming into your employ, this is the first of these events I've been to, though I was told we are not allowed inside.
No, you are not allowed inside. Not for this one. Not yet. You spoke about your times during the crusade, the violence that you've seen. I want you to have a moment of peace before I bring you into the fold. So take this time. Walk the grounds. Think about me and how you would protect this wonderful place on this wonderful evening so that I am safe. My shadow guard.
Her armor, as black as the night around you, is a layer of clothing with a chainmail in between, black. However, it's designed almost to look similar to your garb, your robes, as if She is your chief guard. As you're talking to her, her hands are on the hilt of her sword that she keeps at her side, the shield at her back. Those who enjoy peace must always prepare for war, my dear Abbot. I will keep this place safe for you.
Thank you. May the shadow of the Almighty bless you tonight.
And you. The other woman standing next to her does not walk away.
Min.
Didn't think I'd be attending one of these again.
Neither have I.
Right, but you didn't go to hell.
No, that was you.
That
You
was
did.
me.
And now you're
Here-
back.
And now I'm back. Here again. I know the secret I must keep. But I will protect you in the city, as instructed.
It's going to be awkward.
Well, they
But-
don't know. They don't know. Do they?
No,
You didn't
No.
tell.
of course not. It was really more the witch that that was I voiced my anguish after that torture you helped with.
Well, I left.
You allowed it to happen.
I suppose that's true. But I didn't stay to watch. It was gross. But that's what you do when you work for a prince, a sovereign, a summoner.
Well, it's a good thing that you don't work for a prince. You now work for a high priest.
I don't know if it's better or worse, my liege. But I am going to do what I am told and enjoy it, regardless.
Shall we?
We shall. And she looks your arm with hers.
And I walk in.
From the back, you see Sulla approach Sister Hildegard.
The sister is standing, wallflowery off to the side.
Sister, I was told by our sovereign that if we do not find a partner to walk into this ball, we may be outcast from the city.
Oh.
It's a very serious crime.
We should probably find someone then.
He grabs and hooks your arm in his and touches your hand saying, "Don't worry, sister. You're in very good hands."
If I could, I would be blushing. But alas, I am but a poor corpse. So I kind of, but I walk alongside him. I trust you.
I will try not to betray that trust.
For tonight.
Tomorrow night might be a different story.
Indeed.
I'm kidding. Usually. And he walks with you inside.
I'm looking around to see if there's anybody. Like I'm gonna look up at Gamaliel. I'll be like,
You too. Come.
Yes, my
calling
sovereign.
us. Okay. Good evening.
It is one. I think it will get a lot better though. Later on we go. Sister.
Yeah.
The individual next to you, do you find him sexually appealing? In other words, if given the opportunity and the pleasantry, would you spend an evening fucking each other's brains out?
Sister will anxiously look up at Salah and then turn back to Gamaliel and say, it would be against my vows.
That's not what I asked, but...
I think it's the answer you're looking for, if you understand my meaning.
My liege.
Yes.
There are many of us who wear our vows internally as well as externally. However, our dear Cappadocian is truly a sight to behold.
Oh, I
If
agree.
that answers your question.
She looks scrumptious from head to toe. What would it take from your sovereign to get you to toss away your vows for one night? And then in the morning you can tell God that I said it was okay.
Well, I did this per your request. I'm not wearing my habit. I've already thrown away any idea of modesty. Again, do one of those shy peeks up through the eyelashes, looks at Scylla and says, I'll take a boon.
All right. I will gladly give one, but what weight will this boon have?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I don't like waiting and seeing in terms of payment, so how about this? You toss your vows for tonight. And if the morrow you both can approach me and tell me the orgastic experiences you've had and how many times you accomplished such things, I will provide you a minor boon for each. If you get 3, well, let's just say it's a major boon for each of you. Does that sound delightful? A major boon from a sovereign, just to enjoy a little bit of rumble tumble, consensually, of course. You have to both want it. If you don't find each other attractive and don't want to spend an evening together, then let's forget about the whole thing and you can go back to your vows. But if you've ever stayed up late at night with your legs twitching against each other, a little bit of sweat forming on the bead of your brow, then let's progress.
We have a ball to attend first. But
we do, but this is way more enticing. Of course, enjoy the ball. This is all a, what do some of my friends call it? It comes before. It warms you up. It entices you. It's like dipping your tongue in honey before you gorge yourself in it. What is the word?
Aperitif.
Let's go with that. So let this be your warm-up. Let you dip your tongues in honey during this evening. Let yourselves go a little bit. And then later on, enjoy the night, and the next day you come to me. And particularly you, my good man, if you can please, said lady, in the best of ways, I will make sure you are compensated.
As you wish.
Sister, does this sound appealing to you?
I guess.
You guess, no. You either are enthusiastic or we toss this aside. It's not that important. Think about it. It's best not to pressure you.
Another shy glance, and then an enthusiastic nod.
There we go. Well, the ball is in your court. Enjoy the nights as you see fit. I look very much forward to seeing how your two souls have wrapped up with each other. Go with my blessing. Especially you, sister. You deserve a wonderful, splendid night.
God bless you, Sovereign.
Someone should. It might be God this time, but maybe next week it'll be someone else.
And I also walk away with Sister, bowing to the Sovereign as we continue.
Bye.
That was, I don't want to say unexpected.
Little awkward. It's not usually someone telling you go have sex. It's usually the opposite.
You mean the murder thing?
They say don't do what? I'm sorry.
You mean it's usually someone telling you to murder someone?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah. Awkward standing and sipping the blood.
Well, we have much to discuss, I'm sure.
Yeah. How have these evenings been for you?
I find myself most busied when there are a number of other kindred around. I examine them. In situations like tonight, and I catalog their vices. And then I give them the list to a sovereign, a prince, just our enemies. And in many times, certain friendly faces at these events come to betray you. You have information on how to proceed. That is one thing I am good at.
Why don't you show me how you work?
Gladly. And he walks with you over to one of the corners of the room. He's back to the wall. And you see him scanning the crowd. You see his eyes almost flicker, and there is a serpentine look to them for a moment. And he points to one kindred. She is, for all intents and purposes, long dark hair, black flowing dress, wearing a mask. However, makeup, hair, it's not on par with a lot of the other guests. And he's like, this one, I would say, is a Lasombra. And if it's the Lasombra, I believe it is, her name is Kadia. She is a Christian like yourself, not as devoted as you. However, you would find it very fascinating to learn that she is a member of the Ashira. And quite unusual, yeah?
Yeah.
She believes that the Holy Land is better off in the hands of the Muslim Canaanites and the Muslim mortals, that they provide more stability. She uses her Christianity to disarm those who would immediately cast her off as simply another member of the Ashera.
Fascinating.
It is strange. And she has points. However, I've been an enemy of the Ashera for quite some time.
Well, glad to have you on our side then.
And you. He gives you a small peck on the side of your cheek. And thank you for indulging my very unusual work.
I enjoyed it.
And there is more to enjoy. How does Violet enter the ball? And
Well,
with who?
oh, well, you see. Tonight, Violet does not have her ghoul with her, but her ghoul did help her out, bring a gift for who Violet does plan to enter with. So she's in her garden, and Claire is looking through, and she spots these purple hydrangeas. And Violet looks at them and tells her, "Oh, those are perfect."
I had a feeling they would be. I saved a number of the seeds from some of the other ones I found on the way here. Perhaps we'll plant them in our garden.
I think that would be perfect. Do you think she'll like them?
I think any flower from you is a gift.
That is true. You would know. Let's go pick Miss Asta up. Well, actually, would you like to come with to protect me on my way, or do you feel comfortable with me walking to Asta's?
Her complexion darkens a little. I am always wanting to walk by your side. Bye.
All right. Then let us head out to Miss Asta.
As you head towards Miss Asta, she very gently grabs your hand.
I grab her hand back. And give it a little squeeze.
She basically has to bend a little. Luckily, she has very long arms. She's very tall. As you see Asta a little bit further in the distance, she turns to you for a brief moment and hands you a lily of the valley. And has a small, almost like a crude pin made of iron or something metal, and ties it to your sleeve.
I love that so much. Thank you.
I thought I needed something. You look perfect, I think.
Thank you so much. And you always look perfect, and I believe we all agree.
You be safe and have fun.
I will. I won't get into too much trouble. If I do, I will call.
And she walks away through the garden of the night in the direction of your cottage.
So, I walk a little further towards where Asta's is, and I put a knock on her door. Or I knock on her door.
I come up to the door and I open. Oh, there you are. I was wondering when you would be by.
Yeah, no. I actually took a little while. I'm sorry, but I got you this. And Violet hands her the purple hydrangea corsage.
Whatever for. She'll take them into her hands.
Well, for the help, especially that you assisted with our precious ring, I thought that for this night, since we need a partner, maybe you would care to come with me.
I think that would be amenable.
Okay. And I would usually bring my normal entourage, but the rules are the rules. So,
As the sovereign declares.
as the sovereign declares. So, I hope you do not mind dancing with me tonight.
If there is to be dancing, then I don't mind if it's with you.
And then let us go.
I'll lock up behind me as we make our way.
Dear Abbot, as you walk in, Min, your unusual date, with her mouth closed, talks to you. As you hear the words, there is a very old Nosferatu here, named Nemach. She is a very important figure in Perry. She is one of the few who are trying to usurp and get rid of the prince, the fourth generation, Alexander. With her tonight, across the room, whether they came as a date or not, it appears that they are trying to maintain some distance, is Veronique Orleans, a Brujah. She's something of a free agent. Most of their clan, as you know, as mine, have, how do you say, strong political ties. She's like a leaf in the wind. She's here for a reason. Then it has to be whatever Nemach is here for.
So it's safe to assume that Nemach is the one who is blowing that leaf?
You're starting to speak like your sovereign already.
He is a sovereign, and we have to fit in.
Yes. That would be the better use of your or any of your friend's time.
Let's do this. Let's make a plan. Truth be told, if I can be honest with you, these events make me uncomfortable. You seem to be pretty comfortable, so I might lean on you, if that's okay.
I have no other choice but to obey.
That's true. That is true. Let's make a plan. A strategy.
All ears.
We're going to go talk to Sovereign. Then we're going to talk to Nemach.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll dance with me, I will take one dance. If you don't want to, that's fine too.
I can dance. Better with a blade in my hand, but I'll make an exception for a ball.
I like when you dance with the blade better. But let's put on airs. Remember the first night that we met? I saw you rolling your eyes. I saw you just as uncomfortable at an event just like this. So let's lean on each other, shall we?
I agree. I like you better than Regis already.
I like me better than Regis as well.
Fascinatingly enough, the entire conversation is telepathic between the two of you. Though many kindred here may pick up whispers and words, even if it's in Elysium where heightened sense is not allowed, it's a very hard discipline to check to see if it's of use or not. Whatever the case, your conversations with men, as far as you know, are entirely private.
I take her hand and we walk through the ball towards that ornate throne of human flesh. Gee, my sovereign, Gamaliel.
Well, it looks like you found the right spot.
It wasn't hard. I had to just follow the scent of rosemary and sex.
Pleasant scent. I'm sure someday someone was going to bottle it up.
You should.
Who's this person that you've brought before me?
Well, I was told by our sovereign that if I were to show up without a date, then I would be in a poor position for a high priest. So you've met Min Neferet, the, I guess, ex-sheriff of Marseille.
I would say with the prince having been deceased, long may the sovereign reign, but yes, my position is now vacant, and it's up for our sovereign Gamaliel to decide what is best.
I don't know, Gamaliel, have we decided who was going to protect your place on the throne? Because I don't know who that would be, and the truth be told, gee, I'm scared.
What are you scared of?
I like you sitting on your throne. You look good.
Is it because I'm naked?
It's definitely because you're naked. I haven't seen that in a while. You look great.
In your head, telepathically, you hear, he's naked?
Kinda. I have a gift. Before we talk business, before we talk to each other as a high priest to a sovereign, as a member of a court or a council, I brought something for you.
Is it rope in an evening?
No, but I think you're really gonna like it.
Right, fair. Let's see it then.
Okay, so as you know, the brothers have been cleaning Marseille so that it's blessed with the glory of an empty, non-graven image worship. There were so many crosses here, so many awful depictions of torture, and I would only want your home to be the only place where depictions of torture are common.
All right.
But I found a very randy individual, and he reaches in his cloak, and he pulls out a crude carving of the Christs. It is without the cross, his arms in a Christ-like pose, and he has a cloth wrapped around, a wooden cloth wrapped around his feet from the center of his body down.
I see.
Watch this. And he pulls it down, and there is a little piece of wood that springs up from the crotch of the Christ as he pulls down the cloth.
Oh my, someone has made this. Oh, I love it. It's such Oh, someone's going to hell for this. I love it.
I knew that you would.
I think I'm going to put it on my crotch. Upside down, too, so it's pointed the right direction.
You should. You are crotchless tonight, and I think it would be appropriate.
I think so, too. If a sovereign is to have, I guess, an organ down there that entices people, it should be the upside down Jesus figure. I think that works perfectly together.
So Abbot kind of gets down on one knee and kind of presents he puts the cloth back on the penis Christ, and he presents it as if it's kind of a sword over to Gamaliel.
He'll come over, bend down, and pick the thing up, and with kind of some cloth, tie it around his crotch so that he is now a little bit more covered up, at least his smooth Kindle area. This pleases me, and it's so beautiful. I'm almost getting emotional, Abbot.
It looks good on you. Not the penis Christ. This.
I think one day I would love to wear this in battle, maybe against some Inquisition or maybe some old priest or something.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
It would be very boring if it didn't.
I've been speaking a lot about battle with my new friend Mila. Anyways,
battle, do you think it's coming over the horizon? A little pointed Jesus's penis popping up over the hills?
It has been quiet. Granted, 3 days is nothing, but I worry that word of our newly acquired seat of power will get the wrong attention.
If I may interject, I must say, Abbot and Sovereign, I did kill a number of scouts already.
That was very nice of you.
Old habits.
They die hard.
Sometimes harder than you think.
So next time you find some scouts, do bring one over. I'll make sure you're compensated for it.
I may have a couple of the heads left over.
Heads do me no good. I want hands and fingers. I want them to be attached to things that you can manipulate and please.
Are you asking them to be alive?
Preferably. I can't really do much to something that's dead. It's hard enough to try to do things to us.
One. Just one.
You're going to give me one.
I think that it's something that Ms. Neferet has the ability to. Isn't that right? To bring just one.
It wouldn't be my first time.
Just one. Why not the Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost?
Well, because as Ms. Neferet said, she is collecting heads.
Fine, one will do.
One will do.
And are these kind or are they kindred?
Little of each.
Well, I don't want to speak to a kind. They're stupid. Make it a kindred and it'll be a major boon.
They have been dressed in the garb of typical spies I've seen before. Germany, Venice, and England.
Ooh. Sends chills down my spine. There is nothing that tantalizes me more than the political struggle of something beautiful. Thank you so much for this little chat. But if you'll excuse me, I believe there are two individuals whose prowess I will greatly rely upon in the coming nights, both looking enchantingly gorgeous, breathtaking, enticing. They are like, oh, those sweet chocolates, dear God. In any case,
I'll leave you to your piece.
Abbot, you do owe me a dance, so
I do owe you a dance.
excellent. All right, you two partners, enjoy yourselves, but not too much, or I will kill one of you.
I take Min's hand and look around to see if there's anybody from the court.
Well, you would see Salah and Sister Hildegard. Has Violet and Asta officially arrived inside you?
Well, he's outdone himself, and it's only his first ball.
I'm sure there's more to come.
I do not
Comes to that.
doubt. He does seem like the party. Shall we find him, or shall we find our friends? Probably him, though.
We should always
Yes.
do our greetings first.
Indeed. Shall we? And she puts her hand out. Because, for those who don't know, Asta's only about like 3 inches shorter than Fleur. Just putting it out there. So she like takes her hand and just like puts it out like, shall we?
Indeed. I will take her hand.
And approach the fleshy throne.
Oh my gosh. You two. Why isn't Flora here?
You said no, only Kindred.
Oh, I said this, I said that. Why isn't Flora here?
You said only Kindred. I thought that didn't apply to.
I would like a better answer than that. Like maybe I like to follow the rules and I don't think Floor is worth the risk, or I much prefer the company of this individual. It's much safer.
I feel safe with both of them, but I do like to follow rules. I am quite the perfectionist, so I did not want to upset you. And I did want to get to possibly know my dear Asta a little more tonight.
I hadn't considered that.
That's a shock. You know all things.
No, I know very little, and the more years go by, I realize the little that I do know, I get wrong anyway.
But there's joy in learning.
Learning is always good.
There's joy in living. So, you two together, partners, standing before me. Things go well. You dance, you see each other in each other's eyes. Later on tonight, where do you go?
Wherever. Home, or do you mean, do we go back and do what you love to do?
Doesn't matter what I love to do. I want to know that you are finding other people and finding fulfillment through them. Love, passion, completion of the soul.
Are you asking then? Violet is a loss for words because she didn't think that far. She only wanted to think about dancing. So she looks at Asta and is like, how would you answer his question?
That is very curious. Yeah. Go ahead, Asta. I feel like I don't know you that well.
On a night such as this, with you leading us and introducing us to the night, I would simply say that I would go where Violet goes.
Do you think Flor should be here as well?
I definitely think she would make it interesting.
I don't want interesting. That's
Such a life when interesting becomes typical.
interesting if there's movements in the waves. You stand long enough on the beach and it gets very boring. I want to see miracles. I want to see love. I want you to love the creation by which I provided you. I had hoped by this time maybe there'd be more of a connection or a mutual
Who says there is not? And she points to the flower on her sleeve.
Is she worth it?
Is she worth it?
Flor, is she worth it?
Yes. On my own life.
You would die for her?
Yes.
Then strike me. Strike me very hard. I would like, if you can't bruise me, then hopefully you, maybe a laceration of some sort. Maybe, did you bring a weapon that you might have somewhere in that bodice? Something sharp, perhaps.
Quite possibly.
Well, then strike me.
You are of Clan Tremere. Though you rely on magics, they teach you all kinds of self-defense, including how to wield a knife. It's very likely you have one on your person.
Okay, that was what I was actually waiting for. So Violet smiles at him. It's like, if you wish. And there's a little like hidden compartment like on the back of her dress, like that's like further kind of like tucked between like the skirt part. Takes a pretty decent dagger, walks up to the prince and puts it to his throat and lifts it a little.
Now place it up into my throat, stab it in.
She like gets the tip and like gets it like right under his chin, just like, well, not chin, throat, just like right around there, just like pokes.
In Abbot Aldrich's head, you hear, should we be allowing this to happen?
They can take care of themselves.
Harder. I need this to go through my throat. Make it a passionate moment. Convince me that you hate me and that you love Flor.
I do not hate you, but I do love Flor.
Then do it.
I cannot kill. Not you.
You won't kill me. Just push
This
it
is your
through.
night. And she digs it a little bit deeper, just like probably like that much.
He's gonna raise a clawed hand and kind of grab her by the wrist and shoot the knife right through his neck.
Does this please you?
He'll get up and, with a loud, booming voice, say, "Fine. If you want to cash in your major boon in order to have this Flor attend every gathering from here on out, as long as I am sovereign, well, we will just have to comply, as much as it pains me to see the furniture moving about this beautiful, beautiful court. But I get your point."
Oh, you clever. And she moves the knife in as deep as it can go. It's like that. Just a little extra. And Violet knows that he loves it, so it doesn't matter.
And you have weakened me in my courts. I feel all vulnerable now.
I am your corpse.
Oh dear.
Do
Me
you
too?
rouse?
Hmm?
Do you rouse the blood to heal the wound, Sovereign?
No.
Sister, this is our new sovereign.
In any case, my hands are tied. I'm keeping the knife, though. This is
Fine.
my knife now.
Fine. Did not mean much to me.
Excellent. And you, either tonight or the next gatherings, ensure that Floor attends with a proper outfit. And if I fucking hear anyone else try to manipulate a ghoul getting in here, I'm going to eat you.
I'm sure she would be very happy to be joining the next.
I don't care. All right, you two
You don't. Okay.
have the best of times, really. Enjoy yourselves. And thank you.
Anything for you, my sovereign. Anything for you.
He's gonna go sit back on his flesh throne.
All covered in blood with a
With a dagger sticking out of his throat. Like
From the corner, Salah speaks to Sister Hildegard. That woman, I believe, was the sheriff of this town.
I don't believe that's a woman anymore.
I would agree because I watched her die.
You did?
I did.
When did you see this?
As the tendrils from the docks reached for me, I grabbed her and threw her into them, making my escape much easier.
Do you see what she looks like now?
My eyes are not as yours, but I know when one has been meeting the final death.
Hildy's gonna give his arm a little stroke. Should we go say hello?
Well, I did not expect you to say that. You have a much more greater interest in those things than I, but I am fascinated to find out, nevertheless, what is happening here.
Yeah.
I'll let you lead on this one, though. This is your area of expertise. However, I'm sure she will not be extremely thrilled to see that I am still, well, among...
Nonsense. You're my partners this evening. She will have to be amicable, as we are the court. She is nothing. Looks
No.
like she's less than nothing.
Well, nothing today, something tomorrow, every now and then.
I know that well. Well, let's go. And I will move across the dance floor.
Yeah, he just grabs your hand and begins a little dance,
Oh,
moving her way over, kind of twirling it now and then. You're practically a corpse away, like nothing, and it's very easy to...
it's all dead weight.
It's dead weight. But you're balancing it great.
Thanks.
Until you're practically feet away from the Abbot and Min.
Ah, Abbot.
sister.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to see you. You look
Ravishing.
beautiful.
Thank you. A minor boon from the sovereign,
Ah,
and I cave. You are very interesting this evening yourself.
oh, thank you. I figure what better way to introduce the city to their new high priest? I should probably look the part.
Yeah. And what is this you've brought with you this evening?
Yes, my date. You've met Min Neferret?
I once.
We go
Yeah.
way back.
Yes, Salah. You two know each other, I presume.
Yes, we do. Quickly in your head, because she's trying to make sure that there's no gaps or to notice that there's telepathy happening. This is the motherfucker who pushed me into that goddamn whatever that was.
Salah, it's great to see you. Thank you for coming to our masquerade.
As a member of this city, I'm only looking out for its best interests, including you, dear Abbot.
Of course.
Sheriff? Former sheriff? I don't. What is it? What is it you do these nights?
She's very busy, Salah.
Oh,
And my hope is that she will be even more busy after our conversation with our new sovereign. Perhaps maybe she will continue her work.
and what exactly is she, Abbot?
Well, she's our sheriff to be.
And she's certainly not Kindred.
I beg your pardon?
Sister, that's not very nice.
Abbot, are you questioning what I know about death?
No, I'm questioning your decorum.
Well, I just happened to notice that Violet did not bring her whatever it was, and that this was a Kindred-only event.
Yes, and Min Neferret is Kindred.
Was
Differences, sister,
perhaps.
that you recognize in other people, I'm sure, reflect your own differences.
Min was, Storyteller speaking, once a Brujah. The words being exchanged here flare old tempers. She quickly grabs a glass from a servant walking by and throws a goblet of blood at Sister Hildegard, soaking her lovely outfit.
And now you have upset my date. Great.
And not seconds after it is splashed, our dear sister, Salah's mouth opens as a tongue with serpentine ends jets out, wraps around her neck, pulls and cuts. However, beauty is only skin deep. It cuts the surface of something that looked like flesh and skin. And smoke begins to billow out. The rest of the skin on her body is ash and blood, a mere coating, a shell for what looks like to be brimstone and smoke itself. And she collapses to the floor, a heap of dust like ash and dried vitae. I didn't know what she was, but I did not expect that.
Hildy is looking down at her dress, and blood tears start coming down her face under her mask.
The Sovereign will stand up. And approach this scene.
Sovereign, please.
What is the meaning of this?
Simple. Offensive.
I was simply trying to ask what it was.
Yes.
Was this a Kindred-only event or not?
It was.
And what is this?
It was
Abbot.
a kindred.
I have killed many Kindred. This does not happen. And I watched her die the night of the attack.
Did you?
Final death. It was her or me. And I am smarter and quicker than the sheriff was.
So, question, when you're running, do you have eyes in the back of your head while you're running away as the sheriff of the town of Marseille is being killed, attacked, whatever?
First off, dear sister, let's get you new clothes that flatter your figure as much as you had beforehand. And he'll call for one of his Schlachka to fetch a very dashing outfit for the dear sister. And because Gamaliel has a very inquisitive eye, I feel as if he would already know the approximate sizes and measurements of the dear sister. Practicing.
Good guesswork under that habit.
It's mostly just kind of creating you and then putting clothes on you and such.
Don't say the second half of that.
I wasn't planning on it. No, your figure is divine and it is yours and all yours, and there is nothing I could ever do to it besides clothe it and figure out the measurements for such an occasion like this. Sister, I hope it wasn't too intrusive. Regardless, you'll be taken care of. Abbot, dear Lord Jesus on my crotch. What the hell was that?
What the hell was that? Indeed.
This smoky, disgusting thing that just fell down and ashed itself like a god.
Well, it seems that your guest here, Salah, didn't quite know his place. Attacked the guests that I brought.
But before attacking, I was told this was not a kindred. I am defending this court. What are you doing, Abbot?
I'm protecting this city. I'd like to reach into Salah. I'd like to understand the fear that he has. I want him to fear the void below.
Let's make a roll.
Oh, Salah has stuff to do tonight.
I want to know if my sister is going to have anything to do with that.
Also, what would you like your sister to do?
She has an interesting ability to be, wraithy and do things. I'm not sure how she would feel about a certain abbot ruining her sister's evening.
She's been dormant for the past few days due to the trauma of what she saw, but she definitely woke with full clarity and anger the moment this thing went on full carry, doused you. 5 successes, Abbot. Okay. Sister Hildegard, a moment for you to speak to Brujah in your head before we move forward.
Absolutely humiliated.
This is appalling.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
No.
Keep it together. You have survived so much worse than this. Let them know who you are.
Oh, there's so many things I could do right now that I wish I could see. Hold on.
Well, I have a sheet. I know that the context sometimes bother.
I just have to get real close to read all the things.
Sure.
I feel that.
You have Aura of Decay. However, that is kind of an area of effect, which may bode ill for a Masquerade ball. It's tough. You have your words, your wit. You are a beloved figure here. Bridget reminds you of who you are in your place.
I just look at the abbot, someone I thought I could trust, someone who I thought was a godly man, and I just want to invoke every ounce of guilt and shame in my face that I can as I look upon him, and whatever manipulation or I have to do for that.
Puppy ass.
I am literally the weak link in this group, and you hurt me.
Abbot, what would you like to do with this ability of yours?
I want to twist what he perceives in his own mind. I want him to obsess over that night. I want him to feel like it could happen again. Panic because he wasn't exactly sure what is kind of real, what's not. Time's probably shifting in his head. I want him to kind of obsess over that fear and that guilt that he has for not saving or not doing anything, or perhaps running away and not really seeing Mid-Neferet die. Or maybe he did. I want him to feel the grip of the oblivion on him.
In his mind, he feels the situation play out reverse. He goes to the torment of being torn apart by Abyss as he is dragged back to the docks, into the pit, into the unknown, where a number of other kindred from the city, mortals alike, scream in a void-like state as the madness begins to consume them. The complete absence of light, of the senses, prolonged exposure in that place. Minutes seem like hours. 10 minutes seems like days. It saps your willpower until you simply cease existing. And then the things that live there, that shouldn't be, tear you apart. This is what happened to Min. This is what happened to Regis. And many of the other kindred that live there. Salah feels it. And comes back. As you see his eyes flicker, he is once again before you. You don't know the amount of willpower damage that you have just done to him, but for someone who walks the path of Typhon, he has no guilty conscience about what he did. And now that he's back in this room in a ball after experiencing what he did, it's a second chance at life. Thank you for your insights, Abbot. It's quite a gift you have.
Yes.
I've never known a Lasombra to do that.
You don't seem to know a lot of things.
There's a Lasombra we could ask in the room.
Thought you were going to get out of making the sovereign jealous. But I hope you're happy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you came in here with Salon, turned men into ash in front of everybody.
I asked you what it was.
Yes. And it led to that. I had no time to answer, even.
Abbot, you told me it was Kindred. It was not.
Your words have power. You did this.
And the blood being splashed on this magnificent creature is an assault in a place of peace.
So this place is a place of peace because of me. And it will continue to be a place of peace because of me.
The arrogance.
Here's what will happen. I'm embarrassed. I hate being embarrassed. Here I am naked before you. Embarrassed. And where's that fucking Schlachka? This woman should be clothed in fineries right now.
There is a Schlachka woman who comes out handing you a exquisite gown. One that even a queen of the undead courts would be jealous to wear.
Sister, would you like everyone to divert their eyes and you change here, or would you like a private place to go?
I will take the private place. Thank you, Sovereign. And I
Away.
bow.
Run away.
Abbot! Dear God, man. Do not tease or displease my guest here. Salah, if you could accompany the sister, keep her safe. You have a task. You both had a task, a road that I wished you to follow. And Abbot, you ruined it. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. Please go. Make sure everything's are taken care of.
He takes his cloak off of his back and covers you as you walk out.
Abbot, was that a kindred by the terms and understanding that society understands a kindred is?
Yes.
And why the fuck did it fall down in ash with what?
Abbot, give me a manipulation and subterfuge roll, please.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm bad at social. Stop it.
I'm going to rouse the blood, if that's okay.
You may. You both may, in fact.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Uh,
So what am I rolling?
well, let's see. Gamaliel, you are trying to determine if he is lying or not. You're going to use your resolve and insight as you are laser focused on this man who you find exquisite and a mystery, a former flame even
I know, this is hurtful. Oh, man. Oh, holy crap. Okay.
You may also rouse the blood if you wish to boost your resolve.
No, I find that with Abbot, there is always a weakness. So he doesn't feel the need to boost his resolve. But I did get 3 10s. I forget what that means in this system, or that doesn't.
Well, 3 10s means 2 successes like that, as 2 10s pair, and that's critical. So you have 5 successes. Thank you, Asta.
Thanks.
For a minute there, I thought Asta rolled something, and I was like, ooh.
Asta, like, where's that shotgun?
I'm just very familiar with 3-5.
No, it's much appreciated.
Sovereign. And Storyteller, I'll tell you what I got in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
The rules that you set as Sovereign, I respect. It is these rules that allow this city to thrive under your leadership. There is a lack of panic from the city townsfolk because of me. There is plentiful brew through the Benedictine brewery. There is a monetary system which makes people feel secure. There is a new sense of a guide towards holiness after having a prince that was so obsessed that he lost sight of the people. I have sent your message of this masquerade far and wide. These people are here because of you, and I made that message possible. You didn't want any mortals to come. I and Violet wanted to bring our ghouls. We respected that. I respected that. And so I found somebody who was kindred. Only kindred allowed. The clan of Brujah. Was she different? Sure. But gee, who isn't different? She meant nobody any harm. In fact, she has been systematically going around this entire city, cutting off the heads of anybody who would threaten your throne and our power here. And she was murdered for that. I got an 8.
This saddens me. As everyone knows, really should know, in my city I dictate who lives and dies. Before me are the ashes, and I had nothing to do with that. That makes me very sad.
Me as well. I liked her.
You, Abbot, will owe the sister a boon.
May I ask why?
Because you insulted and embarrassed her in a very, very respectable party. Even if someone died, you keep your shit together.
I believe I did, G.
There was wine on her outfit.
Yes. There was. She knows why there is.
Minor boon. That is what I'm asking from you.
Minor boon.
Towards the sister.
Towards the sister.
Excellent.
I will say this, though. Decorum. How you define it is the only thing that'll keep this court together. If we don't have that, we're nothing. We are all very different, each one of us. We're all very strange, G. And so was Min. Very unusual indeed. And who is Hildy to point out the moles and the scars? It's like a child, G. And so, yes, she got wine on her because she said something rude, and Min didn't kill her for it because of decorum.
Today is a sad day. When they return, we will draw a circle. And everyone will bear witness to my judgment. Until then, everyone enjoy the party. And for the love of God, if there is more ash. That's it.
The abbot will kind of sweep up the ash in his hand and put it in his pocket.
At that, we should take a short respite, a short break, and we'll be back with more Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages. Thank you for joining us so far tonight. We're hoping you were enjoying this very interesting tension. Oh man, all kinds of things happening here that are fantastic. I know I'm having a great time, and I hope you all are too. We'll be back in momentarily.
Yay.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Gehenna Gaming Dark Ages game V5, Vampire the Masquerade. I am your storyteller, Rick. You can find me Oopsal Sedite. I'm with my wonderful players here in the middle of a masquerade ball that has gone to hell like a 80s movie prom. Man, what a night.
Story of my life.
Both for those playing, watching, and for our kindred in this moment. This has been a great session, and it's going to continue on. We left off the very upset Sovereign Gamaliel, who just witnessed a kindred, or was it a kindred?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was, it is no longer with us. And two friends in his court, his trusted advisors, are at odds. Where do we go from here?
The abbot is going to run towards the back where sister would have gone.
And Violet is going to walk over to see if there's any more ash that the abbot did not pick up. She's very interested in what was going on, but there's too much in that moment for her to really have time to be like, by the way, can I look at that dust? But I already rolled and I got 2 successes and one of them's at 10.
Okay. Yeah, if there are 2 10s, then it pairs and makes a critical. That's
Okay.
a regular success, but still, I'll mark that down for later.
Yep.
Excellent. Abbot, you are running out back. Asta, you see him also running out back, unless you're checking out the mystery dust as well. I know you have so many things you're interested in.
I, during that entire transgression, one of the prominent things on Asta's mind is Asta has seen kindred pass from various ages. She wants to be able to discern whether or not the way that this kindred fell was actually that of a kindred or something else, because I don't know if we could hear the aspects of their conversation from where we were, but to her, seeing someone crumble like that and the way that they fell, it felt off to her. So she wants to see if she can discern like maybe what it is or what's different.
Yeah, for the other kindred, it was hard to hear. It's not like everyone's focused in on what you're saying. There are many people from different areas congregating, talking to each other about this new domain, this new prince. Social squabbles of those who are locals are not necessarily the first and foremost on their mind. If you would like, you can use your resolve, medicine. I don't know if your specialty applies here, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
Could I roll something else with my occult?
Let me see. You do not have a specialty in the occult.
No, I do not. Why did I not do that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Next time?
I rolled 6 successes on a brutal critical.
Oh.
1 red, 1 blood die, 1 regular die.
Okay. So that's a messy critical.
Messy critical, excuse me.
Yeah. Oh boy. Let's consult our storyteller chart of bad things. I don't know if we picked a clan compulsion for you. I believe we did.
We did. It is.
But
Just wanted a party.
Until rebelled against expectation or changing someone's minds, you have 2 dice penalty on all rolls for clan compulsion.
let's do that. And the thing that is first and foremost on your mind that you are absolutely adamant about is that this was not a goddamn kindred. This is something foul, profane. It is the mimicry of a kindred. You do not know where or whence it comes. There has been not many things like this on record in history, and you are something of a historian. You are someone who likes to delve into the past, into the minds of those who have come before and those who will come again. And this is something no biology book, no philosophy, except for perhaps the occult, the demonic. This was not right. And your insight into the personal condition. It seemed like a person. It seemed at least to be the woman that you had met before, or at least it was acting like her. That is the thing in your head you're juggling with. What was driving this wraith, this spirit, this demon, this creature?
She was real to me, damn it.
Is there any vitae on the floor? Or is it just all ash?
Well, in the ash, there is flakes of vitae. Like it's a composite. Like dried blood.
So I wouldn't be able to taste that, would I?
You would, because your mouth would essentially take it, taste it, liquefy it. You would still
Okay.
taste the cellular data that is on it.
I want to try to taste.
Party favors. Let's see. Are you going to use one of your disciplines?
Yes, I am going to use taste for blood.
Very well. Let's make that roll.
All right. So is that blood sorcery and anything else? Or?
I believe it's blood sorcery and resolve. I've got a chart here in front of me. I'll see if I can pull it up very quickly. So it might be a little easier for me. Yeah, a taste for blood is resolve and blood sorcery. This is free. You do not have to rouse the blood to make this happen.
3 successes.
With just a taste of blood, the user can identify who it belongs to. The resonance, intensity, and blood potency. You taste 2 sets of vitae. A very faint and weak. Whoa. Brujah. It's barely there. The other thing you taste, it's not right. It's Lasombra, but not Lasombra, and it is Abbot Aldrich.
Oh boy. Asta, could I pull you aside in private?
Yes, of course.
Well, it's gonna search around for a private empty room.
What is it?
I tasted that, which was an experience. A little dry at first. You're also a woman of knowledge and love research. Have you ever heard of 2 kindred in one? Like, I tasted Lasombra, but also Brujah.
You're talking an amalgamation of 2 separate types of kindred.
Yes.
There was a third.
Does Violet know that?
Yeah.
They couldn't identify it, right?
One was so faint, so faintly Brujah, that it's as if Min herself was reconstituting on whatever you assume she drank. You don't know. This was a spirit. Maybe it was something of herself. But it seems like this is largely made up of Abbot Aldrich. And Abbot Aldrich seems to have 2 bloodlines.
Oh, I got some questions. So I turned to her. I'm like, actually, I think there might have been a third in there, and I don't exactly know anything, but I tasted Abbot.
I know that whatever it wasn't kindred, as we are. I've seen plenty of kindred pass, and there's nothing like what just happened. So my mind immediately makes me think it's some kind of, too strong a word to say construction, but some kind of amalgamation that he put back together.
Yeah, he's hiding something that I have never seen, and I am going to have many a word with that man, whether he likes it or not, because he was very defensive of that creation. And now I think I only partly understand why. And
I wonder, because
yes,
you felt some essence of men and you felt the Aldrich, but you felt something else. My only conclusion is that he possibly consumed somebody else's bloodline, and thus it mixed in.
did he diablerize someone? Maybe.
That is the only conclusion I can come to from the evidence that we've gathered.
Oh,
In
dear,
order to
dear.
be, because it is for sure the Abbot, correct?
Oh, most definitely.
Then to be intertwined would make me I can only infer that he has drank from someone else to completion.
I do believe we are on the same page.
Violet,
Yes,
would you please give me an intelligence and occult roll?
gladly.
As you speak, many of your own answers are coming to you. You are very smart, Kindred. Very well studied.
Four successes.
When you commit diablerie, you consume the soul of somebody. That soul is destroyed. The fight over the body possessing that soul can be a battlefield of the mind. It is not a battlefield of the flesh. It is as simple as a kine eating a cheeseburger. It is metabolized and it moves on. The kindred who did the diablerie simply unlocks the gifts of Cain that blood possessed. Then it's absorbed. The kindred remains. There is no such thing as a diablerie that ends up with two bloodlines.
So Violet takes a moment, pauses. The more I think about this, two bloodlines wouldn't exactly make. Diablerie can't really do that. It was like literal blood. It wasn't like someone's soul. Unless you convey soul through blood.
No, you're correct. It's more of a mental battle, you're correct. But that does not mean that he is not subsisting himself off of someone else to the point that it is
mixed.
shared within his blood.
We need to talk to the Abbot before anything worse happens to our dear Salah, because they were kindred, yes, but they were also not kindred, and that feels dirty.
Well, first, what was acting as men, I am not sure what was piloting the dust and ash molded together, was not kindred, which then thus breaks the rule of the sovereign's masquerade.
Thus.
And as we are a court, to have all of these kindred, both local and foreign, see our court squabble cannot be good for prying eyes, and those would move to cause an upstart. So I think we need to meet as a court and have a discussion, because this will not bode well for us if this is to continue.
I believe our dear sovereign has already made a circle, and we should not be too much for the flair of dramatic, at least tonight, so we can have a discussion before any more rash decisions are made. If the sovereign will allow that, so we should consult him for the best. Should we tell him we shouldn't? Should we keep the information until we meet, or shall we address our concerns?
I do believe we should attempt to speak with them as soon as we can. This does involve the judgment of someone who is a part of our court.
All
And
right,
I believe our sovereign would want all of the information before making a final call. Though I noticed that they were a tad upset about the dramatics of it, but
which is shocking since they do like the dramatic, but this is a little bit more intense. Let's go to our dear sovereign.
Before we meet with the sovereign, Sister Hildegard, Salah has a bowl of water and a cloth, and he is helping you wipe away the blood that is on your cheek, your neckline, before you change into this exquisite form. I apologize for what happened. Only to you.
What was that he said? I missed it.
I apologize for what happened, but only to you.
I do not find your apology necessary, but I appreciate it all the same. And I'll reach up and give his face a little touch. But then I'm like too embarrassed to like do anything else because this has been a humiliating evening.
He cuts his hand with a serpentine claw. Looks like a snake's tooth. And goes to feed you his own vitae in an intimate way.
All right, yeah, that's cool. Sis will, play coy, but definitely partake. I don't know that she knows how to play anything else.
And you feed from his hand. This is something we really don't, my people, we don't give. There are exceptions to every rule. We believe that our God is very much in our blood. You are a woman of God. It just makes sense that my beliefs, my God, should also belong to you.
I will reach for his hand, other hand, and take his claw and cut my palm as well. And offer it back.
And he drinks from you. Your sister in your head is going,
She's doing the John Bender.
Yeah. The Breakfast Club thing. There is an exchange of emotion, of passion, of blood, and exquisite pleasure as you drink from each other. You see memories, good and bad, flow through you. You see that this was a man who in life was married, provoked by rage, a broken home, his own doing, found someone who he fell in love with, which was a kindred, indoctrinated him into this way of life, put him on a path that he has continued down. Now, estranged, called or sent out to do whatever it is his people do. He has been struggling in Iberia for a number of years, trying to help rid this land of a people that once oppressed him. But tonight, in his blood, whether sanguine or melancholic or the different flavors of vitae, you feel not an ounce of regret. He's likely going to die, but he is happy in this moment. Those are the feelings he is passing on to you.
I'll share some of mine in return, which I believe he already can relate or has seen, witnessed with his eyes. But I will keep some memories more guarded. Mostly to protect my sister.
As he pulls away, use what I have given you to protect her and yourself. And if tonight is my last, will you reach for me beyond the shroud, as your people believe?
Of course.
And can I speak with you in your dreams?
Absolutely.
I would like that.
I'm sorry that you were brought to this.
If this is it, then this is a fine way to defend you from even the slightest of embarrassments. I would have killed for much less.
You flatter me. I know I'm not a standard beauty, but I've been cloistered for so long. It's so very strange.
And I am a worldly person who knows not the confining life you have led. I don't know if I would have the strength. Show the world your strength, sister.
I'll do my best.
About that time, I believe Abbot would likely be entering this back room.
Hopefully not interrupting anything.
Upon seeing the abbot, I will stand up, my small stature, immediately in front of Salah, in like a protective stance. Sister Hildegard, linebacker.
I need to apologize to you, Salah.
And I you. It seemed out of your control.
I have an ego. And I don't like to be embarrassed. I'm not happy what happened, but sorry for digging in your brain.
It was all right.
You've been an advisor to this court willingly, almost immediately. Out of many people here, I probably should have, well, returned the favor with respect.
I have faced death once tonight in my mind. One more onto the breach should not be so terrible.
Well, don't go quietly into that good night.
You think he means to fight me? He already last time said, if anyone wants the seat, we need to. There's no way I was having that.
If I may ask your permission, sister, if we could speak alone?
I nod to Salah that he may leave.
As you wish. He leaves the room.
You found new clothes?
I did not find them. They were given to me.
I have a problem making friends. I rub people the wrong way. So when I get these small opportunities to have to go to these dreadful events, I need companionship. So I found a way to make friends. I can't talk to them like you can.
Abbot, if you had only given me the time and the answers. I admit I was impressed. I wanted to know.
When?
You did not give me. It was jarring. It was darkness. It's not what I expect from you.
I was tortured for hours, not 3 days ago. And I was witness to something magical, something great.
I did not see it with my own eyes.
Nobody did. Nobody
Somebody
did. I did.
Is it possible for me to poke Abbot in the head and just give him like a zip of what Brigitte, like the crow style?
Oh, sure.
Cool.
Not like blow it all on him, but like tell him I
Zep.
fucking know.
It's more than her small frame should be able to put out. It is a forceful poke. If you're mortal, if she touched right on bone, you may have had a fracture.
I know.
I have to walk into these rooms time and time again, sister. Embarrassed over and over and over again. And I have to swallow it and put on a good face and keep the faith.
That is your pride speaking. I absolve thee of your pride.
I wish it was that easy.
That's the way. I was feeling prideful myself until you had whatever she was put me back in my place. So thank you for that.
Her name was Min.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Something tugs at your dress.
I look down towards the tug.
It is a small child. It's dirty.
Is it real or is it wraithy?
Yeah,
It's
do I
very-
see?
It's very real.
Okay.
Sister,
This child.
what are you absolving him of?
His sins. Just like I would absolve you. But I give this child a little poke on the nose, but like nothing horrible happens.
Oh, I like this game.
Hello, boy.
Son.
What?
Son.
Son.
Did you lose something tonight?
I look at the abbot.
I did. Boy.
You need to take better care of your things.
I know. I have a habit of losing things often.
Come here.
Myself mostly.
Come here.
The abbot walks over to the child.
He grabs your ear. It is excruciating. From your stomach, something pulses. It fills. And you vomit a pile of smoke and flies and Ratay on the floor.
I want to.
More and more and more of it. Not enough to make a person out of.
Can I activate like toughness and just shove this freaking kid out of here?
Sure.
I hope he doesn't take your ear with him. I'm so sorry.
Well, toughness is a fortitude ability. It makes you more resilient to harm. It's not as much as physical strength.
That's prowess.
Yes, you can, however, rouse the blood to become stronger. Plus, you have your sister.
I do. I would like to do both of those things that I can do.
Oh, certainly. Abbot, the blood, smoke, and flies form a body on the floor. It begins writhing in pain and agony and screaming. And it is the naked form of Min Neferret.
Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Ah!
No, it's okay. It's okay. Shh. And I'm gonna kind of grab her and cradle her like a baby.
Yeah. Sister.
Yeah.
You have roused the blood.
I got a 9.
Oh, you're no hungrier than you were before. Your strength increases quite a bit. Why don't you give me a brawl and, well, physical strength. He is not one to dodge. He is holding on to and causing aggravated damage to poor Abbot.
Okay, how does that increase the strength? How many? I have 2.
Oh, well, let's see. Your blood potency is quite high because we are playing Dark Ages.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Oh, no problem.
I can see that I have 2 in strength and 0 in brawl. And that's
You
about all I
add
got.
4 dice to this pool.
Okay.
So your 2 in strength becomes 6. Plus add 2 for your sister's physical augmentation.
Okay. There's a crit plus 3. So 7 total.
With an incredible force, this small-framed, ancient and evil being takes the bottom part of the abbot's earlobe off as he hits a stone wall, cracking it.
No, sister, don't.
I will hold up my rosary.
At that, he recoils. Abbot is also uncomfortable. The child leaps out of a window into the night. Min is now not bile and flies and decay. It is a flesh and blood kindred on the floor, traumatized, deranged.
Do I
Okay.
still see what I saw previously when I look at her?
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are you saying that to yourself? Or are you saying that to me?
I'm saying that to her. I can... You have lost ones, right? Ones that are gone, right? You can only speak to them?
Yeah. And I do so without being in league with the devil.
The only way that I could speak to them is if I bring them back.
And how exactly do you do that?
I read it in a book.
One made of flesh, no doubt.
Vellum. I don't know the source of the vellum. I told you, I don't make friends easy, as
Yes.
you can clearly see.
Yes, the high priest once was my friend.
You have a funny way of showing it.
Abbot, I respected you as a man of God. I did not expect this. What do you want me to say?
I would like for you to put that cross away, please.
Does this hurt you, high priest?
But
I put it away. You knew what Selena was talking about the other night.
The woman in the cage,
Yes, cage girl, as you called her.
also taken away from me.
You knew her for 30 seconds. I didn't think it was that much of a loss.
These connections are important. You feel them. It's sticky. I owe you.
Yes.
I want to renew our friendship.
I will have to consider that, Arthur.
Well,
Because I don't know this person.
the Sovereign has already decided that I owe you a minor boon.
And
I think I owe you 2 major boons.
in return for what?
Nothing. Nothing but your friendship.
We had it before. We didn't need to go about making friends. Literally.
This is the only way that I know how to make friends, sister. I don't know any other way.
How did you make friends with Gamaliel?
He likes me.
I do believe that is not how you made friends with him. I think you doubt yourself too much. I think you are a good, kind man somewhere beneath whatever this is. And while I desire to know the secrets of what you bring back, quite frankly, the answer scares me.
It should. But
yes.
But
This frightens me. You are frightened of the cross.
it's not just the cross, it's the one who holds it that gives it power.
You're giving me too much credit.
Sister, you are the most faithful individual in this entire city. The high priest included.
And yet, I am not a saint.
We will canonize you one day. Give it time.
I think I will leave you with, and I pause. I'll leave you with Min. If she needs a gown, mine is dirty, but she is welcome to it. Then I will leave.
One more thing, sister, before you leave.
Yes, Abbot.
Gamaliel is the only one that sees me for all my nooks and crannies and all my rotten cores and unhealthy habits. And he still loves me.
I love you too, Abbot.
I love you
But
too, sister.
I can love you and be disappointed at the same time.
And you're goddamn good at it.
I give his face a pat that's probably a little too hard because Bridget is probably helping, and then I leave.
The abbot is going to help Min ferret out.
She is in a state of torpor, but alive, or as alive as it can be.
He's going to drag her out of the window. And he's going to jump out that window. And leave. Hopefully with the help of his monks.
Well, they were at all the entrances. We cut back to the ball. Salah standing in the middle of that circle, waiting. It's what he believes he should do.
Violet is seeing that going down and looks up to him and says, I do not believe you need to be standing in this circle just yet. I need to talk to our Sovereign about something very important.
Okay. Thank you.
I will
He
do right
gives
by
you a
you. I bow back.
I do not know if I have done right, but that is for the sovereign to decide. But I thank you for your condolence and your efforts.
Of course. So I go find where Gamaliel is, where I would assume he would be.
He's at his bone throne.
Okay. Bone throne, I love that. Violet approaches the bone throne. My dear Sovereign, may I have a word in private?
Speak.
I mean private.
Like a back alleyway, a door. What
Or-
is this?
Regarding your beloved, I have some questions that I do not believe the whole court needs to hear. On behalf of our dear friend.
All right. Fine. He'll get up and announce to the gathering, the party is over. Take off your masks. There will be judgment dealt out later tonight, possibly a blood hunt. So keep on your toes. Fair individuals who have come to the city for some light entertainment. I assure you, you got a heavy wave of it. All right, Violet, let's go.
Okay. Will Asta come with, by the way?
Asta has been following you, but just watching.
Okay. Okay, just making sure. I look over to Asta and I go, so I need to know how much you know about Abbot. I know you are closer than most, and how many of his secrets are you aware of?
Not enough. I'd like to know more, but he's guarded.
Do you know if he is mixed with more than just himself?
No. For my regard, it might be a little bit of hubris, but if you're not Tzimisce, you're kind of... you get my drift.
I did something what most would find disgusting, but I have curiosities like all kindred do. The woman before us, we noticed, was not kindred, but kindred. As my clan specialty has it, I do know many things, and I can tell things by kindred vitae. So, I was curious. Who was this person? I wouldn't have known. We only have just met. But our dear friend was very protective, and I assume that you know that protectiveness very well.
Mm-hmm.
I tasted her vitae, and there was Brujah. That's for certain. But there was more. I tasted Abbot, and I've never tasted Abbot, but I know it was him and more. If he had more spice to his blood that wasn't Brujah, he has an exquisite taste, and I would like to try it at some point, not to your regard, but if I were to have a second taste, I would love to, because there's something about him.
Right, Violet. We have an issue that we are in a very vulnerable state. Someone's going to die tonight. So it seems like you have information to provide that might shift on who exactly will die. But I think I would like the full coterie here. If one of you don't mind fetching the sister real quick, and possibly Abbot as well.
Sister was coming out of the back, basically just as you said, take off your masks. So she's like just standing over, like holding her mask in her hand, like, hey.
Hey, come on over here. You sexy thing, you.
Yes.
Where is Abbot?
He was behind me, dealing with something.
Well, we have a very important decision to make, so can we get him? Is that possible?
Would you like me to fetch him, Sovereign?
That would be splendid.
I will do so. And I will go to where the sister had been.
You walk into the back area. It looks like a crime scene. There is blood all over the floor. It almost looks like one of those chalk outlines that modern police use on the pavement, except where the blood isn't. There was a shape of a body, almost like in a fetal position. The window is broken.
I will re-exit the room without the abbot and make my way back to the coterie. It does seem that the abbot Aldrich is missing, and that either the sister is at fault or something happened very quickly after she left.
One detail I forgot to add to Asta is that there was part of a wall that looked like it was cracked by a impact of some kind. Very small, though, low to the ground. Maybe 3 feet long and 18 inches wide.
I repeat all of this verbatim, speaking to the Sovereign.
All right, what should we do?
Well, he's your runaway bride.
I think that means we should find him.
Something has to be done tonight.
I wish I had a bloodstone at this moment to give him previously.
I would tell you what I saw.
I am surprised that he's not here, as we have made amends as much as we could have made amends.
When I left him, he was with her.
Her?
Ooh.
He brought her back, in a manner of speaking.
Okay.
It was gross, and a child was involved, and I smacked the child.
Dear sister, I
Smacking
do
children.
believe you fully due to some evidence that I have found. That woman is at least 3 different blood types.
That woman is not, I don't want to say real. That's rude.
It doesn't matter if it's rude or not. Is it a kindred? Is it?
It looked like one for sure,
It tasted like one. 3.
but I saw it being made of vomited blood.
Then it is a toy or furniture at best.
Well, then you'll have to take that up with Abbot because he is convinced otherwise. And that the Abbot wants.
All right.
It is definitely made of part of him, but I do not believe that means it was.
I should also mention the little boy that I smacked.
Why are you smacking children in our court?
I believe it was the one that the cage girl was talking about.
So okay, all right.
He was gross. And he tore off parts of the Abbot's ear. And then I gave him a smack. In that order. Absolutely.
You still have part of that ear. Maybe he could reattach it. Maybe.
Very good question. I run back. I look to see if the ear is still there.
On the ground is a bloody ear.
Excellent. I pick it up triumphantly and take it back to Violet.
Feeling very proud of yourself.
Hide it. All right, this little mystery, as confounding and interesting as it is, more so I'm concerned about the weakness that we have shown. And surely someone soon will come and try to take the throne and then wipe us all out.
Yes.
That's my focus right now. I don't really care about the shenanigans that were had tonight. So I will make an announcement, and that announcement will be to Blood Hunt Abbot. I want him here, and I want him staked.
Hot.
Very well.
You want this told to all the Kindred Sovereign?
Yes, I'll announce it. I just wanted you all to know first. It pains me to do this. I love and adore him, but I need to keep everything here safe and sound. There's lots of machinations that I would like to see unfold, one of which was already foiled by Abbot, which I will certainly spank him whenever I get the chance. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on now.
Sister will take one of Gamaliel's clawy hands in hers, and I will lean in with a little whisper, and I will say, "It's not totally foiled." And then I give him a little pet on the face. Let's go find your little, whatever he is to you.
My priest. All right. He will step out in front of the court of any kindred still here and announce, I demand a blood hunt of the kindred known as Abbot. You all saw him here not too long ago. I want him tortured and brought to me as soon as possible. You, of course, will be given a major boon from the sovereign of this city. Go forth. May the best person win. And he'll sit down on his bone throne.
Abbot, where have you gone, dear Abbot?
To the first abbey.
The boat.
Boat. The Mare Nostrum Abbey.
Your silent monks begin preparing for disembarkment.
On my way there, is there any sign of the boy?
No. Perhaps God has abandoned you.
There's not one little sign of the boy anywhere that maybe can give me a small modicum of hope that everything's going to be okay.
You could roll for it. The hope before you is simply that he gave you back your friend.
Then she is my hope. I'm going to get on the boat with my brothers in the Order of the Austere Shadow, my Shadow Guard, Mela, my new friend, Min Neferret.
You set sail out of
Yes.
the port of Marseille.
Yes, I do.
While a court of monsters from many domains now begin a hunt. A hunt which many of them are excited about because these typically end in a diablerie. And though Kindred may dress for pomp and circumstance and dine and dance and twirl like the best on the planet, they are, at their core, many of them old, depraved, or young, seeking to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Get just one generation down that ladder. Just one. I could be somebody. I won't have to be pushed around anymore. Crowd dispersed from the ball. For wanted man. How wanted will remain to be seen. The rest of the kindred at the ball. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we likely close this story for tonight?
I asked Asta if she would mind me coming over her place after this and try to do a little bit more research.
I have space for that.
Sounds excellent. Shall we?
If there's not anything else our sovereign needs of us tonight.
Oh, find the answers.
The answers you shall have.
We will do our best. And it's what we do.
I know. And do let Floor know the consequences of your actions tonight.
Consequences?
Yeah, she gets to attend the gatherings.
Oh, yes. No, she will be very, very happy to be able to attend again. She did look rather sad that she could not come, and I do wish she was here, but I
Me
did not
too.
want to disrespect you, even though I know you would love to see her again.
I appreciate it, and I'm glad we were able to work it out. Here's your knife back. Do
Aw.
give Floor my regards.
I will. Actually, I give the knife back. Keep it as memory. Remember, I can do this to you anytime.
Floor is in very good hands.
You're damn right she is.
I will approach the sovereign. My liege, you asked me for something at the beginning of this evening.
Yes.
Would you prefer that I follow through with that, or...
I want you to follow the avenues by which you want to tread, dear sister. You've had a very tough night, so it's all about you. Still.
Well, I simply would like to ask if this is an appropriate time to continue with that, or if you would prefer my talents put elsewhere.
It is an appropriate time indeed for you to continue to pursue that.
She sort of thinks about it. She's like, do you need to be there or something? Would that make you feel better?
No, no, this is about you, dear sister.
Okay.
You and your companion. I just want you to connect with someone in a physical and spiritual level. And I hope you do it with the vigor that I know a nun who's been pent up in a nunnery for several centuries, decades, has to offer. So, good luck.
I lean in and give Gamaliel a sweet little kiss on the cheek. And then I turn to see if Salah is still there. And if so, I take his arm and allow him to lead me wherever he wants.
And he does.
Fade to black.
Fade to black. Asta, any closing remarks or thoughts on this?
I believe that for now, Asta is content to research with Violet for the evening. It seems that more of their questions will be able to be answered once we've apprehended the abbot.
Very true. One more thing. In the small cottage, not far from the edge of town, Fleur sits in a chair reading a book by a fire. There's a knock at the door. She gets up, answers it. There's a tall, thin man in a cloak. May I help you, monsieur? He lifts the cloak. There's a third eye on his forehead. Yes. May I be let in? And he walks in. The door closes. And we end our session for the night.
We got
Rude.
a dirty ass salubri in our town. Oh my god!
All I want to kill a salubri.
You guys should pay more attention to the salubri over there and just let me run away. It's more of a problem, I think.
It's
Absolutely
my
not.
property.
To the person.
What just happened?
I would try to have a good time with Asta, and this is what I get. Love
Oh
it.
my goodness. This is one of the best sessions I've ever played in. This is fantastic.
It was a whirlwind.
My gosh. Even I'm like, wow. All over the place.
From orgasms to maggot vomit, I don't think there's a corner that hasn't been touched.
It must
Typical
be
Fridays.
It must be Dark Ages. And
Yeah.
speaking of Dark Ages, I don't know if anyone caught this in the chat, but if you go onto our shop, gehennagaming.threadless.com, you can actually find the Dark Ages t-shirt that we're selling in our shop right now. It's really, really cool. I'm looking for the direct link. I'll put it up in the chat in a second. But you know, when you do purchase something from our shop. It helps us do cool stuff like this. So if you have already purchased anything from us, thank you so much. And if you like this show and want to help keep this thing rolling, then go buy that shirt. Otherwise, I enjoyed the hell out of this session. It was a lot of fun. It was dark. It was scary. It was, I think everyone is in horny jail right now. Yeah, I guess that's vampire.
There was romance and science and occult and highs and lows. Yeah, it was
Multiple eyes.
fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Just 2 eyes. That's all everyone gets.
Yes.
Third eye is not allowed in my house.
Exactly.
Make a melon baller out of like a bone, you know?
There you go.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for the Dark Ages. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned for the time. The later time works pretty well for some of us, so we'll see how it goes. But definitely around 8, 9 o'clock. We'll try to keep it consistent, but you'll hear from us. Regardless, where can they find all of my fantastic friends? I will pick someone.
I'm Mark Q. Anderson. You can find me on Twitter at Marchosius with 5s instead of S's. But of course, follow Gehenna Gaming on Twitter at Gehenna Gaming. Watch some of our other stuff. We've got 2 things going on tomorrow that I'm really excited about. First of all, Claire Herbol is still playing Doki Doki Literature Club. And if you haven't watched her play, this is hilarious.
So funny.
She
So
is amazing.
good.
It's so fucking good. Also, we have a Saturday night one-shot of the long-awaited Kickstarter Necrobiotic, run by our friend Gamaliel himself. Mitchell Wallace from Penny for a Tale is going to be running that game tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. That's Saturday for all those who are watching this in the future. Go watch live. Support this actual play so that you can check out what this game is all about. And then when you're done, go back Necrobiotic on Kickstarter.
You could back it before the show too. Whatever
You
you
could,
like.
yeah.
You could do it at your own pace. But it's a great book and you should check it out.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people here who do lots of cool things. Let's start with Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot. I played Violet tonight, who is now doesn't know yet, concerned about her dear ghoul. I'm screaming. We're screaming. I bet you're screaming. And where you can hear me scream is on twitch.tv/chaosthem. You can also find me on Twitter at chaosthem. But if you want more personal screaming, go follow me on Twitter at chaoselliot. And there will be a lot more. I'm also on the Midnight World, which was so good last night. I broke the Storyteller and his game. So please go check that out. That is every Thursday at 8 o'clock. And you can meet me there as River and our friend Casey over there as well.
Indeed. Midnight World is fantastic. James Davey is a friend of ours and a great GM. That's such a fun game. Speaking of your co-player, Calamity Casey, where can they find you?
Everywhere at Calamity Casey. I am the co-host of the Strange and Unusual podcast, where we discuss dark history, corpses, true crime. It's fantastic. It's a great time, family fun. And if you want to check us out, it's _strange unusual on Twitter.
Awesome. Dana, where can I find you?
Hey everybody, I'm Dana. I'm Dana Leigh B on the internet, mostly on Twitter. I'm here every Fridays playing with all these really cool people. If you want to watch me play more Vampire the Masquerade, catch me on Silver RPG every Monday as I play a Lasombra in Chicago. And you can catch me playing our finale of Call of Cthulhu this upcoming Tuesday. And we also switch that Tuesday with Star Trek Adventures. And then every other Thursday, the same week as Star Trek, I am in a Star Wars game as well on Jumpstack Charisma.
So many good games. We're playing in so many good games. Wow. Thank you all for joining us. I am Rick. Oops, all Suddite on Twitter, the Storyteller for Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages, and every now and then some other weird stuff we do. We have a good time. I hope you had a good time too. Please check out Necrobiotic. The V5 book, Children of Blood, just came out. It's available to order for print on demand. Go check it out. There's a lot of great new stuff for V5 in there. It was developed by our buddies Matthew Dawkins and Clark Herbal, who plays that Doki Doki on Saturdays. So they have been asking people to tell them what you think, write a review if you like it. But it's great stuff, and there's a lot of great stuff in there that has made its way into Dark Ages and other things we do.
Super usable.
Yeah.
It's such a rich resource. I mean, like I think honestly, I thought Chicago by Night was packed with usable content that GMs can actually use with statted out characters, but this one is just chock full to the brim. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving, because Cults was a good book too for all that. So hey, thanks everybody. Thank you, Sarah McDiabetes, for getting that awesome Dark Ages shirt. I ordered mine already too.
I got mine too in the mail. It's shipped. It's shipped.
Yeah, I think we literally pressed pay at the same time.
Probably.
So it's a race, and the race is on. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We cannot wait to be back. Have a great night.
Wait, what about Mitch?
Yeah.
Didn't we go, Mitch? No. Oh my God.
Well, I'm cool. You just necrobiotic. I'll see you tomorrow. At one shot tomorrow. You can also find me penny for a tail. Yeah. I'm just trying to get people laid in this game, and I keep getting cock blocked here. It's
I know, I'm the worst.
I know. It's like everywhere.
I really feel the cock block right now because there's a salubra in my freaking house.
See, there's like a dark
Look what
entity.
you did, Abbot.
I only have the
conspiring.
Jesus carving stuck in my head.
Maybe
Thanks for
Violet will
bringing
get
that
laid
image
tonight. You
back.
never know.
Oh, there we go. All right, special guest right there.
Oh,
Next-
Got it.
Next episode's gonna have Piss Christ.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Ah,
gonna be
my
awesome.
favorite.
But yeah, that's me. Just follow me on Penny for a Tail.
Yep. Oh man, thank you everyone for tuning in. Chat's been amazing tonight, and our players have been even better. Thank you for a wonderful story. We'll see you next Friday as it continues.